What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be telling you about the time that I got stabbed. And no, I wasn't standing in the back of an alleyway and somebody just came up and shanked me in my ribs or something like that. It didn't quite happen like that, but my mother, it was a fine day out in Georgia. You know, the sun was shining, my mom was in the kitchen cooking dinner. Her and my brother were playing, and I was like, oh, that looks fun, I want to play too. Okay, so dinner got done and everything like that, and my mom was walking back to her room, me and my brother was pushing, shoving on each other and shit like that. Well, he shoved me pretty good, and I fell into the refrigerator, and apparently some dumbass had put a knife on top of the refrigerator. Don't ask me why, I have no idea, fucking dumbass. But anyways, I hit it, and I fall on the ground, and the knife somehow lands perfectly in my leg. It didn't hurt or anything like that, and it's not because I'm a badass or, you know, anything like that. It was just, it happened so fast that, you know, it didn't really register me that what had happened. And so it didn't really hurt. It was just shocking that it had happened. So I'm just sitting there bleeding out of my leg, don't even know what's going on. I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? My brother screaming his fucking lungs out. He was screaming more than I was. Like he was the one in pain, but he was screaming his ass off. My mom comes running in there. She's like, oh my god, what's going on? And all that bullshit. And my brother's just sitting there screaming, and she sees me stabbed, so she calls 911. And they get there, and they put these two big ass fucking roll of toilet paper looking ass shit on my leg to keep the knife still, and they wrap it up, they put me on the stretcher, they take me out, they take me to the hospital and shit like that. I'm laying there, and you know, I'm still not feeling anything because I'm still in shock. So I mean, I don't know I know what's going on, but my mind is kind of like, you know, like it doesn't know how to process what just happened. Okay, so I'm laying there, and they give me this fucking orange like water type substance, and they put it all over my leg to clean the wound and shit like that, and they pulled it out. Well, they gave me a shot, you know, to numb the pain, and they pulled it out, and the doctor, for some fucking reason, he wanted to check if it cracked my bone, which I completely understand, but he shoves his finger inside the cut, and then my mom's standing there, she's right beside me, and I'm like, what is this dude doing? Like, that shit hurts, and he has his finger in my leg. I didn't look down because I was scared to look down and see what this guy was doing, but she's like, oh, he's got his finger in your leg. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean he's got his finger in my leg? I was like, why is his finger in my leg? And she's like, oh, he's just checking to see if the bone's cracked or anything, you know. So I'm just laying there chilling, and he done checked to see if the bone's everything done like that, and he done put the stitches in, and then all of a sudden these two guys walk in. They're wearing black, and they have like this pen and paper, and they're like geeky looking, and they come in there and they're like, oh, we're gonna ask you a few questions, you know, see what went on, make sure ain't nothing, you know, bad happening. And they're like, well, did your brother, were you and your brother fighting or something like that? I was like, yeah, we were play fighting, but it wasn't nothing serious, you know, we were just kidding around. And they were like, well, did your brother stab you? And I'm like, what? No, my brother didn't stab me. They were convinced that my brother had stabbed me. They wanted to pin that on my brother for some reason. They were fighting so hard for me to tell them that he had stabbed me. They came in there, I was all doped up. I'm talking about they had me on all types of fucking pain medicine so I didn't, you know, hurt or anything like that. And they came in there, I'm all fucking doped up, asking me all types of questions and shit like that. Like, of course my brother didn't do that. And they take the knife and they fingerprint it and shit like that, still convinced that my brother had stabbed me. Well, anyways, they had figured out he didn't stab me. They completely cleared his name and all that bullshit. Well, they had looked into our household, you know, to see if it was nice and shit like that, if it was clean, you know, a healthy environment for children. And they had to drug test my mom and my brother. At that period of time, I was having to stay with my grandmother. Now, it was okay staying there, but she was really crazy. But she'd be like bringing me popsicles and shit like that. I'm laying on the couch and she's just bringing me popsicles. Yeah, that was pretty nice. But you know, when it came to me doing things, she wanted me to do it without the crutches. I was on crutches. I could not move without the crutches. I was in so much pain. Like if I would stretch out my leg, I was in so much pain. It would feel like it was ripping the stitches that was in my leg. It just hurt so fucking bad, so I couldn't stand up or anything like that. Well, every time I would use my crutches, she would get so mad. And I mean, I don't understand why. She would want me to come to the table to get my pain medicine and everything like that and walk by myself. She wanted me to go to the bathroom by myself and shit like that. Well, I was still living with her at the time because they wanted to, you know, make sure everything was okay with the parents and brother and everything like that. And so we went over there to see how they were doing, and you know, we were sitting outside, and my grandma all of a sudden comes out there and tells us we got to clean up the yard. Keep in mind, this is like 4 or 5 days after I've been stabbed. She wants me to go out there and clean the fucking yard. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how in the hell you expect me to go out there and clean the fucking yard, and I'm walking on crutches? And you know, all types of bullshit like that. Well, eventually, you know, I moved back in with my mom. Everything was all said and done. It was a good laugh, you know, me telling them about all that bullshit. You know, it was, you know, quite an eventful day, if I do say so myself. Blood everywhere. It was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, it's funny to look back on it now, but at the time, it was really scary. I'm not gonna lie. I was in a lot of pain. I was probably crying, you know. I was being a little bitch about it, but I was young. I was probably only like 12, 13 years old, you know. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of the story, guys. And if you would leave a like, I'd really appreciate it, and I'll do more story times. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.